Hi, I'm looking for...
Solana?
Well, yes, that's me.
Yes, come on in.
Thank you. Again, I just want to tell you how grateful I am that you're even allowing me to cover what really happened at Kova Bay College.
Well, I thank you for caring enough to do this story. There's a lot of misinformation about what actually happened. I'm glad to tell you the truth. I trust you.
You still have everything documented, huh?
I even have the original video and audio recordings all right here.
What do you think their reaction is going to be when they finally find out the truth about what happened here at Kova Bay College?
I'm not sure how I'll even react digging back through this story. You know, it's been so long, yet I still remember how I used to start the show. I used to say,
"Welcome to the Kova Bay Kaidons Dynasty. This is their story." Sitting just outside of San Francisco across the Golden Gate Bridge lies Sausalito, a small coastal town where Otis Redding wrote his song sitting on the dock of the bay while he was sitting on a houseboat in Sausalito. Just 2 miles down the street, a young man named Tupac Shakur was finding his way in Marin City as a young teenager. Kova Bay College is a nature conservatory and field study institute, which makes sense because just a few miles away lies the National Redwood Forest, which brings us to Kova Bay's mascot. Ancient inhabitants of the Redwood Forest spoke about an ancient bird named a Kaidon, or now known as Kaidon. This bird was said to have been able to deliver messages across the Pacific Ocean to other inhabitants. Well, Coach Tenari Bluesen got a message from Kova Bay's athletic director offering him an impossible job. The question is he the right man for the job? Coach, tell us about your background a little bit.
First and foremost, thank you for having me on GFuse Sports Network. I was a wide receiver and quarterback coach at Howard University in 2019. I then moved up to offensive coordinator at Howard in 2020 through 2022. I was also the head coach at West Florida FCS school from 2023 to 2025, where we did experience some pretty good success.
And what about this unique offense that you're looking to implement?
Yes, well, it's no secret that, again, I spent time under Brennan Marion when he was developing his go-go offense at Howard. I have my own version I call Flow-Go offense. It's fast-paced, it's deceptive, quick passes that then lead to open vertical opportunities, and eventually we will blend air raid concepts with power running concepts.
Well, Coach, you got everybody excited here at Kova Bay. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
And as we look at the budget here for Kova Bay, remember Kova Bay College is a small school. It's working with about 700 NIL, but 450 of that is going towards facilities. Kova Bay College does not mess around when it comes to facilities. The athletic director's demands are to be ranked in the top 25 in the next 5 seasons, win 25% of your home games, and win 3 home games this season. The question now lies, who are the players who are going to help Tenari's vision come true? Let's start off with the quarterback position, senior Jamichael Irving. He's been with Kova Bay for a few years when they were at the FCS level. He's a solid quarterback. The term game management quarterback gets thrown around a lot, but he is kind of that. Nothing sticks out off the paper or nothing jumps off the paper, but he's a good, solid quarterback. Jalen Nielsen was challenging for the starting position in the offseason. He is the junior. The senior is going to get the tiebreaker when it comes to this quarterback competition. So Irving will be starting, but keep an eye on Jalen Nielsen. He has a little bit of a better arm, they say, and also a more prototypical quarterback size. Now, who will they be throwing to? Let's start with John Madlock, the junior wide receiver. He is their best offensive weapon, very consistent hands, has no problem catching in traffic. However, he is coming off an injury a few years ago to his knee that has limited some of his quickness and his juke abilities. He's only 73 juke move. Opposite of him, Carl Abbott, the wiry senior wide receiver. He is a scrappy wide receiver who will go up and make tough catches in traffic. He's very, very unselfish. If he gets the ball 10 times a game versus 2 times a game, you won't be able to tell a difference, but you want to try to get him the ball because he can go up and make plays. Next, in the slot position, Marvin Cole is going to be operating there. He's a freshman wide receiver. but he's going to go ahead and get the start at that slot position. We will see what the freshman can contribute. In the backfield, Aiden Seals will lead a 3 running back operation. Strong all-around running back. Now, Kalani Maui is a gadget type of guy. You'll see him play wide receiver, kick return, running back, and also Kevin Capo in the backfield, the bruiser running back, not too elusive, but he will put his shoulder down and cause pain. But now, speaking of pain, let's get to the defense. Jeff Crank, the senior and team captain of the Kova Bay Kaidons. He's a solid linebacker who spent his entire career with Kova Bay going back to their FCS days. He is the leader of this team. He will be anchoring this defense, and on the outside of him, Alexander Thompson, the defensive back junior, 6 foot, 88 speed, 87 agility. Also on the other side, Isaac Butler, very smart defensive back, very reliable. Just don't make fun of his chubby face. He is sensitive about that. Behind them, Drew Hudson, the big time heavy hitter. He's a junior. Don't let his skinny frame fool you. He will come and lay the lumber. Evan McClure, big hitter, not the greatest speed, but he will knock some heads. Offensive and defensive line, there are no stars to talk about, but we will see if somebody emerges worth talking about as the season goes on. Real quickly, looking here at the sliders, Heisman difficulty, of course. And again, I'm going to talk through this and you can look at the sliders. I want to make things very realistic and challenging. I don't want the CPU to have robo quarterback, so we're turning it down to 41. I'm turning my own accuracy down to about 43 or 41. And again, we're going to take some edge off of wide receiver catching and some other things. We will come back to these as the season goes on. Minimal player speed threshold. If you want a realistic college experience, turn this down anywhere between 35 to 45. And ladies and gentlemen, you are here to officially witness the beginning of the Kova Bay Kaidons as they kick off here in a hostile environment against Utah. Number 19 Utah's Tenari Blueson looking to come out and implement his offense. We haven't spoken much about the defense, but they will be playing a lot of conservative zone is what Tenari said. No big plays through the air as Utah starts the season off with an excellent run up the middle. Here comes Dampier now on the option. He's not able to pitch the ball there. 2nd down and 11 here. Got to watch out for Dampier's ability to run the ball as well. They get pressure. Dampier steps up, delivers a strike for another 1st down. Killebrew with the tackle in open field. Utah on the move. Another run to the outside. Tripped up after a gain of 8. Utah moving the ball with absolutely no resistance. Dampier up top had a possible lane, but incomplete. 3rd and 2. We warned you about this. Dampier can get out and run as he picks up a huge gain and slides down in the safety. And just like that, Utah is knocking on the end zone. Possible touchdown saving tackle there. Again, Utah is taking advantage of this very soft zone and now up the middle inside the 5-yard line. Hudson with the tackle, but Utah knocking on the door and they get in. Utah with a statement drive to start the game. Ladies and gentlemen, Kova Bay could be in for a long afternoon if they sit there and play a lot of soft zone. But here comes Kalani Maui, the gadget player from Kova Bay. Again, you'll see him at running back. You'll see him motion out into wide receiver. He will be returning kicks as well. But here comes Jamichael Irving, the senior, getting a chance to play now up with the big guys in Division I football. And now the handoff to Seals. Nothing much Second play, Capo, we told you he was a bruising running back. And you just saw it there. Now 3rd and 4, option out to the right. The pitch to Seals, beautiful job. And great first down for Kova Bay. Here they go. Again, they're battling a hostile crowd. First completion of the year for Irving goes to Abbott, the tough wide receiver who's also a senior. 2nd and 5, there's that man, John Matlock, the wide receiver. Again, another first down. Kova Bay moving. Little swing pass to the outside, nothing much. Now 2nd down and 9, Irving. Another swing pass now to the other side. Seals makes a move. 2 yards away from a first down, but Kova Bay is in manageable 3rd down situations to start off this game. Option now. Irving hit as he pitches it, and Seals tries to recover the awkward pitch that knocks him back a few yards. Kova Bay will come out and go for it on 4th and 6. Irving had a lane to run there, chose to throw the ball, turnover on downs. Here comes Utah up the middle with the run. Hudson trying to bring him down. Brownlee comes from behind and secures a tackle. Dampier now looking deep, but he's hit as he throws. Kova Bay finally getting some pressure. 3rd down and 1. Can they get off the field? They cannot. Dampier throws a strike across the middle. Again, Utah knocking on that end zone. They are in the red zone. Dampier back to pass again. More soft zones from this Kova Bay defense. I know they don't have the legs to possibly play man-to-man as Dampier just scampers in. He could have walked in if he wanted to. Hitting that Heisman pose, is that possible foreshadowing for Dampier later on? We will come back to that as the season goes on. But Kova Bay now gets the ball. Irving, great pass, but he leads him out of bounds for an incompletion. 2nd down and 10. Comes another option. Gets the pitch off in time. Seals makes a nasty move. Somebody's ankles got left behind at the line of scrimmage. Here comes Irving in this offense. Out route. A little bit too late on the timing. Irving doesn't have the same arm strength as backup Nielsen does. So we will keep an eye on that throughout the season. But so far, Kova Bay's offense has shown life. The defense has been holding on for dear life. 2nd down and 10 now, and Irving gets popped in the mouth. 3rd and 10. Conservative handoff there. Irving had an option there. He chose to hand it off. They're going to go ahead and give it back to Utah. And Utah just carving up this soft zone. I know Tenari feels like he has to be conservative. He might not have the speed to keep up with some of these bigger programs, wide receivers, and there we see it there. Landry with a touchdown saving tackle, but Dampier has been lights out to start this game. Across the middle again. Kova Bay finally comes up, gets a little bit of a stop, only 3-yard gain. Now they get a stop on the run. Big 3rd down and 6. What will Kova Bay do? Do they go get pressure? No, but they get a huge hit and force Utah to a field goal. Kova Bay now back on offense. Matlock, a lot of bobbling going on, but he ends up dropping it. 2nd down and 10. Irving back to pass, delivers. There he is, right back to it. Matlock, he is one of those wide receivers who's not scared to go across the middle. Irving up top now, looking for the tight end right there. I don't mind that shot right there from the senior. Another little swing pass to the outside. They've been having success with these little short swing passes. We will see that from this Flogo offense. They'll pick you apart down low and then take a shot up top. And there's John Matlock working that center of the field. He's excellent at finding gaps in the zone. Irving now rolling out. Comeback. Abbott, beautiful job coming back to the ball. And look out, ladies and gentlemen. Kova Bay is on the move. 1st and 10. And now they are on the move, but in the wrong direction. Huge sack. Irving now dealing with a 2nd down and 20. Empty backfield, delivers, and there is Matlock again. Short hands Matlock holding on in traffic. 3rd and 13. You at least want to get into field goal range here, but that's Capo out of the backfield, the running back known as a bruiser, but showing off his hands right there. 1st and 10 now. Irving with a little scamper up the middle. Kova Bay now knocking on the end zone door. 2nd and 3. Irving rolling out. Nothing there. Smartly gets rid of the ball. 3rd and 3. Seals to the outside, and he gets in to the end zone. That is number 4, Aiden Seals, saying, which one of y'all want this ball? Psych, I ain't giving it to y'all. Aiden Seals with the first touchdown for the Kova Bay Kaidons. That was a hell of a drive from passing the ball to running the ball, and Aiden Seals makes history as the first touchdown in Kova Bay Kaidons history. Out comes Utah though, looking for some get back. They were up 17-7. Dampier exploiting this soft zone, and now they're exploiting the run game here. He has a chance to break free. Thompson brings him down from behind. Utah, minimal resistance, and look out up top. No good. Butler with the great recovery. Beautiful job right there from babyface Butler to get the ball knocked out of the wide receiver's hands. And there you see him with a chopping hit. And now 3rd and 6. Here comes Dampier, makes a nasty move. Nasty move, and now 1st and 10. Dampier starting to catch rhythm on the ground. Kova Bay looking to bring some pressure. Little DB blitz from the outside from Thompson. Nothing can stop Utah's offense from moving the ball. Just 16 seconds left in the first half. Dampier looking to get into the end zone, but he wisely gets down. 12 seconds left. 3rd down and 3. Utah is going to just run it up the middle. Dampier just pushes the linebacker out the way. Easy score. Utah has not been able to be stopped, and now with just a few seconds left, they're going to run a little option, see if they can get a look here. But the defense has a lot to improve. The offense didn't look that bad to me. Kova Bay down 24-7 at halftime, and that man right there, Dampier, making things look easy for this Utah offense. Now, as we look around the country, Kent State is up 17-3 against Ohio State. We could be looking for an upset of the ages there as we look around the league. We will come back to that, but as you see the first half stats, not that bad of a discrepancy unless you look at the running game category. Kova Bay gets the ball to start the half, and they want to close that gap in the run game as they go to Seals back-to-back. Nothing there on the second opportunity. 3rd down and 4. Let's see how Kova Bay handles this situation. Irving, the senior, has been solid so far. He's at least taking care of the ball here. 3rd and 4. He will take it and run it this time. We were questioning why he wasn't running it in the first half with some of these openings. He is dealing with a little bit of an ankle injury. He might be dealing with a little bit of an eyesight issue there as he throws it right to Utah's linebacker. He's been solid so far, and Utah's going to come right back out. Big hit right there from Hudson. Again, don't let his wiry, skinny frame fool you. He's going to lay some people out this season. I guarantee you that. Option now from Utah. Trying to teach Kova Bay, say this is the proper way to run an option. To the outside, bulldozing his way down to about the 1 foot line. And Utah just bullies Kova Bay up the middle on the short goal line play. Now it's starting to get a little bit ugly here. Off of that Irving interception, how will he respond? 1st and 10, there's that man, Matlock, tough underneath, running after the catch and gets 9. Irving trying to roll out, goes back to Matlock. Almost a disaster there. Utah jumps it, and now the crowd is getting into Utah. The crowd of Utah is getting into Kova Bay's lineman's head as we see a false start, and now dangerous pass from Irving again, not having much time to throw. And here comes Dampier in this offense. There's Hudson again. He's been all over the field for Kova Bay's defense. Dampier back to pass. Completes it there for a 1st down. They've held him in check when it comes to the passing game, but the running game, Utah has gotten anything that they want. Butler needs to make the tackle, and he does. Kova Bay is getting embarrassed in the trenches, and there's an embarrassing stiff arm right to Hudson's grill. Hudson's going to have to bounce back after that one. Big hit from the team captain, Crank, trying to wake this defense up. And again, to the outside, missed tackle, and an embarrassing display of defense right there from Kova Bay. They get the ball back. Here comes Matlock again. He's working that middle of the field for Irving. First down and 10. Kova Bay desperately needs points now as the score is starting to get out of hand. And there's Abbott running after the catch. 2nd and inches. Here comes Seals, and he is thrown back from the first down. Now 3rd and inches. Up the middle. Capo can't get it. 4th and inches. They hurry up to the line. Capo again. They finally get the first down. A little bit worried right there, but they pull it off. 1st and 10 now. Irving, way back in the pocket, finds his wide receiver, actually his running back, out of the backfield. And here, a missed throw opportunity right there for Irving underneath. That is number 24, the running back. Nice catch underneath. Irving, dangerous throw, trying to throw it into a window. He thought his wide receiver was going to sit in the window. He did not. Now looking at a 2nd down and 10. Irving gonna use his legs nicely there. I like that from Irving. Do not forget, young fella, you got some wheels on you. Irving now, another swing pass. Maui, miscalculation right there by the defense who overran the play. And there's the utility guy, Maui, getting involved. And up top, Matlock. Beautiful defense right there, but I like the shot from Irving. Got to keep that defense honest. Here comes the swing out to Capo again. He's going to be lowering his shoulder all year. And again, 4th and inches. Maui cannot get the first down. Here comes Utah now. They have the backups in, and this is Bird Ficklin, who is a dangerous runner with the ball. He's going to hand the ball off again, and they collapse on it. 2nd down and 8. Bird Ficklin, not known for his passing. And here we see his dangerous ability to take off and run. He is not your average backup quarterback. If you paid attention to football last year, they put him in the game in some very important plays, and he's an actual important piece to this offense. He's getting his important minutes now in Utah. Getting down the field, great open field tackle though from Hudson as Kova Bay choosing to keep their starters in the game. And you couldn't tell a difference if it's the starters or the backup because these guys are playing like backups right now. Touchdown, Utah on the ground, and here comes Irving. Miscommunication between him and Matlock. Irving again, another little swing pass. Capo cannot get free. 3rd and 8. Kova Bay's got to start opening up this playbook. They go up top. Matlock, great defense again. And Kova Bay's got to get rid of the ball. And here comes Bird Ficklin. I told you he is not your everyday backup quarterback. He's an important piece to this offense. And again, the swing to the outside. Hudson makes a great tackle in the open field. Again, he has been a bright spot for this defense. But here, not too many bright spots. Another misfortune for Kova Bay as they get a face mask penalty and right up the middle. Big hit right there. But he picks up a decent amount. Utah still picks up some points. And here comes Jalen Nielsen. There was a quarterback competition in the offseason. Irving got the start because he is the senior. But Jalen was right there for that starting position. And here we see him start off with a nice 8-yard run. These are his first snaps of college football. And here he finds the running back out of the backfield on the wheel route. Could he go? He could go all the way for the touchdown. Excellent job right there from Jalen Nielsen, finding him out of the backfield. Kova Bay all of a sudden getting a little bit of light from that offense and from Jalen Nielsen. Bird Ficklin showing off his running skills, embarrassing this defense right now. Absolutely embarrassing this defense. And Utah will run out the clock and finish off Kova Bay 48-14. Devin Dampier had 185 yards through the air, 3 touchdowns. He had a couple touchdowns on the ground as well as Kova Bay gets off to a rough start. Welcome to the big leagues. This is not FCS football anymore, Kova Bay, but there was a bright spot at the end of the game. Jalen Nielsen came in as that backup quarterback, provided a spark. This could make things interesting. Irving was already just holding on to the starting position by just a thread, and now we're going to see what happens as Irving finishes with about 157 yards, an interception. Passing completion percentage was pretty low. Seals had 41 on the ground. Receiving, John Matlock finished with 7 catches for about 68 yards. He was the bright spot through the air. Defensively, we had Jeff Kesey lead the team in tackles with 10. Hudson was with 11, all over the place. A tackle for a loss. Jeff Crank was quiet for our team captain, just 3 tackles. As we look at the total offense, 517 for Utah, 313 through the ground. I think even the backup Burt Ficklin almost went over for 100 yards. We will see how.
Wow, well, the future didn't look too bright to start off with, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. But you see, that's what makes this story so special. Not the way it started, but the way it finished.